Hello, welcome to the Away Day Review Show here on Back of the Net. My name's Sam.
My name's Tom.
Tom, there's one important factor in the show, and you know what that is?
What is that?
Don't talk about the football. Just as well, though, eh?
Yes, get in. I wouldn't be here if we had to talk about the football, mate. That is for sure.
Because the last game that AFC Bournemouth played was against Everton, and yeah, we're in the relegation zone. They're not. They had a party. We had a bad day, and move on. It wasn't particularly good, but it's one of 4 away days we've now been on this season, and if you're brand new to the channel, you can subscribe and like, because what we do is we attend every game and then we rank them, don't we? So yeah, hit that like. Thank you very much. And also subscribe as well, because we've done a second look, we've done a vlog.
Enjoyed all of it.
Thanks for subscribing. We truly appreciate all the comments that we've got, by the way, from some Evertonians and all fans who are seemingly liking our vlogs. Well, it probably helps when your team wins, doesn't it? Anyway, when we do this away show, we rank it based on certain factors, Tom. What are they?
We do indeed. We start with the car parking, which is pretty self-explanatory, how it's like parking on the away game. Then we talk about the pre-match away pub that we've gone to, what it's like in there, the walk from that pub to the ground. We go for the wow factor, which is we get a fan that's never been to that particular away game before and what they thought of it. The view from your seat, which is obviously different at every ground, so we discuss that. Pint. Yep. Talk about the price and what how good it is for a pint, mostly at half time. The noise, the atmosphere that's generated from the home fans, and then the value for money itself. And then we work all that out, and then we'll whack you in the league table, and we'll see how you're getting on.
No pressure, Tom, but I'm just looking for our stats here, and it looks like the last video that we did covering Everton got 60,000 views. That was with me and Tig, so you've got a lot to live up to. It's going to be fine. Yeah, probably. Can we just caveat that with they stayed up on that day?
Yeah, give me some credit here.
Right, so this is the tier list that we use to rank all of those different factors. At the end, we calculate it and then we put it on our league table. This is a brief look at the league table. There you can see what's going on. Whereabouts are Everton going to be on the table? Find out at the end of the show.
Tight up there early on.
Yeah, very, very tight. Okay, let's go then. So, car parking. We always park on the Liverpool, the Anfield side of Stanley Park, just because that we know it's going to be relatively easy to get away. And also, I don't know if you noticed this. You probably don't, because I'm the one who books the car parking every time. Mr. Admin over here.
I booked it last time at Liverpool.
Oh, yeah,
and we had the same issue. But
it's always a bit more spenny when you're playing Liverpool, because it's obviously nearer. So when you're playing Everton, there's a walk through Stanley Park. So on that side, it's actually relatively cheap to park. And I've got to say, there were plenty of car parking options. It was an easy drive up and easy to park. Although, I say easy to park, we were supposed to get a permit from the person who left it under the plant pot, apparently. He looked for ages, wasn't there? Their next door neighbour thought we were raiding their house. It was all a bit weird, but it was fine. It was fine, and it was only a 5-minute walk to the pub.
Yeah, probably feel like I'm repeating myself to the Liverpool one, obviously, with the car parking, because we did the same thing, didn't we, and booked a kind of driveway or in front of a driveway, and it's easy, but last time we couldn't get on the drive. And this time we couldn't get the permit that we were, so yeah, all a bit weird, but both times it's been absolutely fine. So there's probably some sort of kind of algorithm that they know that if you park there, you're on the app or whatever. But yeah, it was pretty simple, but it's a little bit annoying, them sort of things. You don't really know what's going on, and it looks like you're trying to rob someone's house, which we definitely weren't. So yeah, I wouldn't say above average, unfortunately, because it's not above average, is it? But it's not horrific. We'll go not the best for that, I think, mate. I think that's fair, just because it's a little bit of aggro.
Yeah, a little bit of aggro. But in terms of getting away, though, I've got to say, I think it's above average, to be fair.
For God's sake. Go on then. Whatever, you're
there you go.
You're the one that drove, so I'm happy to give you the...
They like me more than they like you.
Yeah, no, I probably
Here we go. Right, next then, we're going to be doing the pre-match pub look.
Yeah.
We know that there are lots of options when it comes to going to Everton. We've had loads of people in the comments saying you need to get to a better pub. There were a lot of people saying there was a bit too much red in that video, which we kind of understand being on that side. But often... this is my own personal choice. I don't like a pub that's overly busy.
Yeah.
And there were some people in the Wetherspoons, which is great because it's nice and cheap. However,
we played it safe, didn't we?
Yeah, we played it safe, and it means you can get to the bar easy. They opened sort of nice and early at 11:30 for us. We were standing outside actually, and they said, come on in, lads.
Yeah, they let us straight in.
So yeah, really good, really good. And it's
But I think it's one of them that a lot of people, as you said, went to different ones, and it almost feels like there's a lot of fans that are going for the 3 points, whereas we're going, we'll take a draw. We'll go to what we know. Do you know what I mean? And I think because we've always had decent experiences in our calls, and we kind of went, let's just go there again. It's pretty decent. It's a little bit annoying you can't get any food.
Yeah.
I always think that, but I like our calls, mate. I do quite like it, and as you say, it's easy to get a seat, easy to chill out in there, decent beer garden, all that stuff. So you can watch the game before the early kick-off and that.
One thing I would say though,
Go on.
that annoyed me a little bit. So I went to the pub, bought 3 pints, £5.80 a pint, which isn't overly great. For you though, it was a little bit cheaper. He allowed you to use your Green King Sport season ticket for the first one, but he said, look, we don't usually accept it on match days, but I'll let you have it. So your round.
Yeah. I mean, I got another round later, but you weren't involved in that round, so give myself a bit of credit. But look, I got there first. You know what I mean? You snooze, you lose, mate. Same happened in Swansea, didn't it? Weirdly, they went, because it's the first one, we'll give you some discount.
Yeah. Tom was like, oh yeah, I'll get this.
Yeah. I'm going to be getting that first beer every time, mate.
Cheers, Tom.
But yeah, difficult one, look, because I was thinking happy enough because I do like Ox, but then because it's the Everton game, it's a bit red. I agree with that. And you're playing Everton, so it doesn't get you in that. So I'm going to go above average.
Yeah, above average.
Yeah.
So because you want to appease the Everton fans, you're going to score them lower. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I get it.
I'm not appeasing fans that beat us every one. We're not talking about the football.
What's nice though is the walk to the ground, and I actually really like it. Obviously, it means you don't get as much time in the pub, but it's it is a nice walk to the ground through Stanley Park.
I don't think it's that far. How far actually is it? Because I know it doesn't feel far.
15 minutes maybe, if that.
It doesn't feel like that.
No, it doesn't.
The way back it felt 45, but yeah, it was. It's quite a nice little, like you say, through what's it called, Stanley Park.
Yeah, Stanley Park,
quite
and
like
a nice lake there and stuff. It's very picturesque. We've put some footage on our preview show of like some drone that's going across. It zooms up, see Goodison Park. Yeah, no, I really like it, and it's just a nice way to get to the ground, and you sort of see the best of Liverpool by coming in that way, I think, as opposed to maybe the other side where it's not so pretty. So I personally really like the walk to the ground as well. So
happy enough, easy for me that one. Yeah, I do quite like it, and I try and you think about other away games and how you get there in the walk. Actually, that is one of the better ones, isn't it, for the walk down? So yeah, I'm happy enough with that.
What about the wow factor then? This is where we get a fan that's never been to the ground before. And, someone that you may know quite well.
Oh, okay.
Is a certain Mr. Hensman. And this was his opinion of Goodison Park.
Well, lads, just give you my quick lowdown on Goodison Park, as it's my first time there. Obviously, it'll be my last time as it's been demolished now. And I'm glad I got to see it before it went, because it is one of the historic groundways, probably the most iconic historic ground in the Premier League. 130 years old, seen FA Cup finals, World Cup games in '66. A lot of history there, but it's looking tired now. The way end is wooden flooring, wooden seats. I'm not sure what the rest of the ground is like, but it was definitely a throwback for a away point of view. And it is kind of nostalgic seeing a ground in between loads of terrace houses, but I guess that's why they've got to move, because it needs redeveloping and they got no space to do so. So yeah, good from a nostalgic point of view. Enjoyed the atmosphere there. Weird camber on the pitch, which I've never seen the likes of before, I presume for drainage, but very quirky, but not very modern. So yeah, I'll give it a 6 all round. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, so Hensman went for above average, and he said it, grand old lady of a stadium. Yeah. But I would be encouraging every single Everton fan to just embrace that.
Yeah.
Absolutely embrace it, because when we moved from the old Dean Court to the new Fitness First Stadium, as it was at the time, that 90-degree change, it was brilliant having a newer ground, but all of the old quirky bits, some bits that were total crap and dilapidated, but it was home.
Yeah, it's character as well.
Yeah, it's character, and I really hope they enjoy this last season. I reckon they'll be staying in the Premier League, by the way.
Yeah, we'll see. Like you say, you're probably back in 2, but it's early days. But yeah, I wonder, I hope the move's all positive and stuff for them, because even though on the pitch it's been good for, say, a West Ham, I guarantee they'll be like, I just want that last season again back at Upton Park, because you do miss that kind of character and that tradition of it. So yeah, I think that's a fair reflections there from Steve. But yeah, I do quite fond of it, and yeah, we'll see exactly when the new one gets up. But if I have to go back to Goodison, I wouldn't be too bothered about it, apart from the fact that we'll definitely lose.
Yeah, exactly. We would probably definitely lose. Right. Okay. Next then, the view from your seat. And I suppose this is one of those great, like there are some stadia that you go to, it doesn't matter where you sit. It doesn't matter where you sit, whether you're on the side or on an end, halfway up, whatever, you get a decent view. At Goodison Park, it matters. There are certain stadia like that, Crystal Palace as well. It matters. At Luton, it matters. Last time at Everton, we were a bit too far back, so you're sort of looking through a letterbox. You've got the roof, you got the fans in front of you, and can I just say, using either a phone or the little vlogging camera to film, it plays with the exposure massively, so it just means it's very difficult to focus on. Obviously, you'll know about all the technical requirements that you need to film an excellent matchday vlog, of course.
Of course.
However, I looked at it and I thought, okay, so we won't go right at the back, won't go too far at the front, just in case it's raining.
Sure.
In hindsight, maybe we should have. So we sort of went on the side, which means you're relatively close to the Everton fans. Did you like
nice to see some people happy, wasn't it? Yeah, no, they had one over, so yeah, you think, oh god, I can really see them happy faces.
A couple of their guys,
they were great, to be fair.
A couple of their guys were constantly looking at us and smiling and waving and doing what we would do.
Yeah, 100%.
And they were almost more absorbed with us.
Yeah, it's part of it.
As the game itself. But there was one guy, and I didn't get this until you told me later on. He kept on just like
pointing up. It was because we didn't have the higher tier, wasn't it?
So like we were saying, your support is effing.
And then he was pointing up. So yeah, a good bit of banter all for it. But yeah, obviously this was, you took the words out of my mouth actually, because when I think of the view, the only two that come to mind are Everton and Palace, that you've got to think about it. But Luton's a good point as well, now they're up in there. But obviously this was, as you said earlier, with Tiggs doing the show with you, this was the only one I missed last season. So when we were booking the tickets, you said, I'll take charge of this, we can't take turns or whatever, because of the view. Obviously I have been there before, and I know what you mean. So I was pleased you did that. But the fact that, so our view was okay, but the fact is we had to think about it more, and a lot of the fans wouldn't have had a good view, and it is one of the poorest in the league.
But do you know why I specifically chose those seats?
Go on.
Because I knew that the TV cameras would focus in on us. Did
Oh,
you
yeah, we
see
did.
it?
Yeah, we did get
5-3.
Yeah.
I'm getting loads of texts through. What's going on?
Yeah, I got
we're
it.
on TV here. So there was Ben there, Steve, Adam, yourself, Lucy in the background as well.
I'm glad they got us before kickoff, I must say. I am glad. But no, I didn't think of that. But yeah, unfortunately, I like Goodison, and if you pick it all right, it was okay. But we've got to be real here, and we're doing every team this season, and it's going to be one of the worst views. It just is,
as a whole. I mean, can I just say something as well, that it's very different. It reminds me of being in Italy watching football there, where you got the netting. So we could only see our goal through some netting. It's not obtrusive or anything, but it does make a difference, doesn't it?
Find out in Europe, won't we?
Yeah, of course. But yeah, as a whole though, mate.
2.
What? Just rubbish?
It's got to be. It's got to be. We went through the whole league and you named 2 other teams that might have a view as bad.
Yeah, and there were people that were stuck behind pillars as well.
Okay. I like Everton, I like Goodison, but we're going off the view here, mate, and it's rubbish.
Okay, we'll let you have that. Yeah. Right, next, the price of a pie and a pint. I'm going to give you the prices. These are from the Daily Mirror, and we independently validated them. The price for a pie, £3.90 at Goodison Park, up 10% on last season, but you'll be pleased to know that the price of a beer did not change at all. It was £4.55 last season, £4.55 this season as well. And Tom, of course, you go down on 38 minutes. We know this, and we went down, and you grabbed something, didn't you?
They grabbed it for me.
Right.
Put it on the side. Right, so Ben, this is nothing to do with the pile of pint, because I can't put this into it really, but I'm one of them that I have my account with my money in, and then I have a little savings account, and every time I just put in what I'm going to spend that day.
You know what? Because that's a good way to do it.
Very good way to do it. Yeah. And sometimes, occasionally, I maybe go a little bit too far in the pre-match pub. So then I get down to half time and I think I'm going to need to whack 20 quid over. Because I've gone over my budget for the day for my half-time pints. I get a couple, get one for Mark, and I went to get a pie as well. and there was no signal. So I've realised I haven't got enough in there. I went, oh, sorry, mate, I'll just quickly transfer a tenner across. And then I couldn't get on my app. So he's there with 2 pints, bottle of Carlin, not ideal, and a pie, and I'm just there, and I just couldn't get any signal for the whole of half time.
Really bad.
It's the only time I've ever had that. So I didn't get anything.
No stadium Wi-Fi or anything.
No, the only time I was absolutely desperate for one. Yeah, but I couldn't get it. But obviously, I was near enough there. I knew what the price was going to be, and I knew what I was getting. But yeah, that was frustrating.
The pies are standard as well, by the way. I had a couple of people say, yeah, the pies are all right. Okay. A little bit too much pastry, not much meat in it.
I'm going to go not the best.
Not the best.
Because bottle of Carlin.
Who wants that?
It's not ideal, but it's not the worst in the world. But yeah, I think not the best is fair, mate. It's just, it's below average, isn't it? So yeah.
What about the atmosphere then, the noise? I tell you what, it was quite interesting on the vlog when the pre-match stuff was going on, because they were playing Spirit of the Blues, Everton.
I'm not a fan of that.
It was like this 80s classic. I actually quite like it.
I don't mind it, but then I think what I noticed, Everton fans let us know if it's always the case, but I thought, oh, this is alright, it's a bit cheesy, but it's alright, and they're, singing Everton, blah, 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 and I thought, but I can't see any fan getting involved, so it can't be that great, do you know what I mean? So I don't know if that was just the occasion we were there, and if they normally do, but for some reason, it didn't feel like you could hear every word, because there's no fans doing it, so that makes me think, oh, it isn't great. This is obviously one that, unfortunately, we always mention that we got to tap onto the pitch a little bit. And to be fair, I didn't think it started great because they're not in a great place. They hadn't got a point.
Understandable, yeah.
But then when they needed them to get behind the team, when they took the lead and they could see that the team were performing and the better side, I thought they then helped.
Yeah.
And then lifted themselves. I think, compared to a lot that we've had this season, they weren't one of the worst. They weren't brilliant. But I thought it was kind of middle of the road. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I thought the more the game went on, the better they were. I think the more confident they were of getting those 3 points, as that obviously like the clock ticked down. I think they got better, but there were a number of times where our fans were singing 1-0 up and you still don't sing, 2-0 up and you still don't sing. But then they got into it. But then I can understand maybe the frustration that Everton fans have been having so far. I mean, according to some fans, they've been doing pretty well in their games, shots on goal, etc. But it's just not been going for them. This is a game where everything seemed to click. So the more the game went on, I'm not surprised. You saw the Gladys Street end absolutely bouncing, and the stand to our left as well. And then it was going around the whole stadium, and it's quite a tight stadium that's sort of conducive to a good atmosphere. And from what I've seen from Bramley Moor Dock as well, it's going to be very similar, quite tight, but obviously lots of space. But it's going to be a cauldron in there. So I'm looking forward to that next season when we're both Premier League. So better than both being Championship. That's not going to happen, is it?
What was the?
I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you, because obviously, as I said, you were there on the last day, so that was an obvious one where they stayed up on the last day. It must have been rocking. So was it really different in terms of atmosphere, which would be understandable?
I don't think it was the decibels that it was last time, but I still think it was.
But it was still okay.
Yeah, it was still okay.
Okay, so I mean, I'll probably lean to you then, because I was in between two. Shall I go? I think if I'm trying to compare to other home atmospheres we see, is it slightly above average?
Yes, I was about to say above average.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm happy to put it in there then.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely fair.
Okay.
And then in terms of value for money, then the whole day really. I don't think it's too bad really. Obviously, it's a long old trip there, but we can't make any geographical slurs because of the fact it's 5 hours away in the car. Of course, it costs more in petrol and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But other than that, I think it's, in many ways, it's sort of middle of the road, really, in terms of the beer prices, in terms of the pie prices. It's on the lower half, nearly at the bottom of the Premier League. So it's actually, good value. Standard price for a match day programme as well.
Yeah. I think it's pretty middle of the road. I agree with that. I think when you put all things into it and all that stuff, I think I look at Everton as there's a lot of positives and a few negatives in there as well, kind of go along the middle. So I think it's going to be quite top heavy, this category, but I think it's fair to go above average for this one as well. Do you agree?
Yeah. Above average, yeah.
Oh, you've got to do all your maths now. You've got to do
do
your Rachel Riley.
Yeah, this is where I need to do my Rachel Riley. So 6 times 5, 30, 38, 42. Okay, we've got the score in. Let's bring up the league table. It's gone bottom.
Or fourth.
Of 4.
Yeah, of 4. It's going to be interesting because we've got so many away games to go. So I don't know, where that will kind of be. I think my early thoughts would probably say it would be mid-table, to be honest. But obviously it's only the fourth one in, and I probably agree with that. I still think Brentford is the best we've been on so far, and Liverpool and Brighton just edging it. Yeah, I don't mind that. Just below, and I think that's fair. And obviously you've got to put in consideration Steve Hensel played a big part here. So the wow factor was not as strong as Liverpool and Brighton. So yeah, I think that's fair, mate. And I mean, it doesn't look pretty for them at the moment, but that often happens with Everton, doesn't it? Yeah, they start off, they think the table doesn't look pretty, and then by the end they're all right. So I think that's fair, mate. And I don't think it will. I think they'll be worse this season, put it that way. But I'm hoping there'll be some better, particularly on.
And look, I think Everton fans will appreciate that Anfield is a completely, it's a modernised facility. So therefore, next season, I'm expecting you Blues to be going ahead of the red shite. That's not my words, that's yours, but maybe I agree. Who knows? There we go.
You beat him on atmosphere, by the way, which is a piece of piss.
Yeah. Well, that's not difficult to do. There we go. Everton are in fourth, but it's a long road. So
might not be back there again, mate.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
FA Cup maybe.
All the other cup they got through as well.
Yeah, Carabao Cup.
Yeah, we've got Liverpool, so we're through. Yeah. And then we'll play them again. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think first and foremost, I haven't come on here. When we do it, I'm just glad to not come on here and think, oh, this was crap. I think in general, I quite like Goodison, and we obviously changed the layout a little bit from last season. If you used to watch the away shows, and obviously I wasn't privy to doing Everton last season, but we used to have a category with the people in there, and from the comments and from the people I've met, really nice bunch.
I love the lad on the fan cams. It's only like a couple of minutes in. Can't remember who I'm speaking to, but he just comes on saying, "Use a shite."
Yeah.
I think I'm chatting to John Spark. I just thought, you know what?
Bag on.
Probably about right.
Yeah, fair
play. They're very perceptive people as well, those Evertonians. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe and keep abreast of future away day shows and see where you fare, we'd appreciate you clicking that button. And then there's also the thumb thing in there.
Yeah, the like button. Give that a click as well. We'd really appreciate it. And yeah, and then you can keep on top of how you're doing in the old league table. At the moment, you're going to Europe, so let's see how long that lasts for them. What's our next away one? I've just thought of what our next away one is.
I'd say.
Oh my god. What's the point?
What is the point?